up in Omaha. I graduated from Burke High School in '07 and went to KU. Didn't know what I wanted to do in life, so I had fun at KU. And then I came back my last year, went to UNO, I had so many credits from KU that I did like a general studies degree with a minor in marketing and focused on small business entrepreneurship. So I kind of figured out more what I wanted to do at UNO. And then I started planning my store for 3 years before I opened a store. So I'll talk all about that, I'm sure. But then I opened my store in 2015. And that's what I've been doing with my life, is work. But so yeah.
Yeah, so how the four sisters, how did you clothes? What made you go down that path?
So I always was interested in shopping and clothes, and my grandmother was a wedding dress buyer. I didn't grow up with her doing that. She was retired, but like I always heard stories and everything. And then my grandfather owned a nursing home and many other businesses, so I kind of grew up around, business and clothing. And she always took me to that Abercrombie and Fitch where Trader Joe's is. And it was like every Tuesday we went to Ruby Tuesdays. I don't know if it was every Tuesday, but we went shopping a lot. And I remember just sitting and the music was so loud and I felt so bad that she was like an 80-year-old woman and spending like $400 on me. And so I think I always had that ingrained in my head that like I would want to make a store like a nice, relaxing area that's not too loud. I don't know. I was getting ideas, I think, from when I was younger. So yeah.
So more kind of a cozy, you were really interested in the shopping environment and how you wanted to create that?
Yeah. I've never really thought about that till just now, but I kind of think that manifested into like, and I went to college at KU and girls always borrowed my clothes. So I always was like, oh, it's from my boutique, when it actually wasn't my boutique, but I would say it's my closet. So that kind of made me realize what I wanted to do. And then going to UNO and taking a business entrepreneur class with this teacher who owned Right at Home. And so he taught me kind of about business. And it was my first time actually like learning more about it. And then we did a business plan and I chose for my group a boutique. So I kind of like utilized that. And it was like all guys and me. So that was fun. And then it just kind of segued into, okay, wait, I actually really want to do this. And I had leg surgery and I was like sitting on my mom's couch and I was like, I want to open a boutique. And my mom's like, yeah, right. Like, I wouldn't say you guys didn't believe in me, but they kind of were just like, Sarah's this like social little extrovert. Like, what is she going to like run a business? And then I kept thinking about it, kept doing it. And I worked at Garbo's hair salon, which is just like advice I give is like, I worked at this hair salon for 5 years as a receptionist, but I met so many people and talked to so many people that were well-known business people that I kind of got all this advice from just clients that came in, which I don't know if my boss loved that at the time, but I was able to make a lot of friends and hairstylists that were able to give me, they helped me figure out the logo. Like I was like, here's a list of logos, which do you guys like? And then it's named after my grandma and her 3 sisters. So I get asked that a lot. And I never thought that would be the main question, but it is because I don't have sisters. I have a brother. So yeah.
One brother boutique is that?
Yeah. So and then every guy asks me if I'll open 4 brothers. And it wouldn't make sense because there's 4 husbands, but not 4 brothers. And I have no desire to get into men's clothes. Sorry, men. But yeah.
Oh, so you kind of had a business plan from having the right one in school, but what were the next steps you kind of had to take after that?
So I actually met this girl. I don't ever share this story, but I met this girl in one of my classes and she was so smart. And I hired her to help me write a business plan. And I used that business plan and the financials. I got help from my dad, who was a small business loan at Centris. So he helped read them over. And then also UNO actually had free financial services or something that they literally made a whole plan for me. So utilize that. Even if you don't go there, I think they have like a financial thing. And I did that. And then to answer some of the questions I know you'll ask, but I presented that to landlords. Well, at first, I don't know. I'm going off on a spiel, but did that answer your question?
Yeah, keep going.
I'm trying to remember. So this was 2012. And I met this woman at a kickboxing class. So this is going back to being social. I was putting myself out there. Like you said, you're an introvert and I'm a huge extrovert, but I always give that advice, like attend these things, like get out and meet people because that's how you get known in the community to grow what you want to do. And But I met her. I was telling her I want to open a boutique, and she's like, "Well, talk to my husband. He's a commercial real estate agent." And I was like, "Okay." So then I talked to her husband, who's like, "Get a lawyer, get an accountant, get your business plan made. We'll go to a bank." And he was able to kind of guide me to like where I needed to start, where I was kind of stuck on like, okay, I have a business plan. What do I do with that? There's not like a class to take to say, oh, you need to do this, this, and this. These are the steps. I kind of like made it up and just like did it on a whim, and then
Yeah, we hear that a lot. We kind of figure it out because no one's done the exact same path of business that you've been on. So it's a lot of taking it day by day, figuring it out as you go, and getting help along the way. Have you always been in your space in Rockbrook? Was that your first space?
Yes, it wasn't what I wanted, which is crazy to admit because I have the best landlords. But I wanted a space, and I met with them, and they wanted me to have a co-signer. And it was hard to I was 26 when I was looking for space, or I was like 24, 25. And not saying people don't believe in you, but it's really hard as a young person to kind of show that you could do it and that you'll be successful at it. And so that's probably one of my biggest struggles, was to prove myself to landlords. And the first place wanted a co-signer, and I didn't want to make my dad co-sign on a business that I had no idea if it would go anywhere. And then the second place was being built, but they didn't want to meet with me, and I kind of hated that because I'm a people person and I want to talk to a human. So they didn't want to meet with me, and I was interested, but then they said something about like, you have to read your lease, because then they put in something like you have to pay for the roof or something crazy. And I was like, no, no, no. And that's when like the commercial real estate agent came in like to play. So like utilizing the people that I know, and he was like, no, you're not going there. And so I remember sitting in front of my dad's fireplace with like all these locations listed in front of me. And I was like, what I learned in school was location's key. And like, you have to have a good location and marketing. And then I went to Rockbrook, and he wanted to meet with me right away, and he believed in me, and he signed me for a 5-year lease. And then I've stayed there ever since, and I've expanded on both sides. We have a full warehouse now, and yeah.
Why would you say it wasn't your ideal?
Okay, so it's crazy, but I worked at a boutique. That's another thing. Do experience, like, you want to get involved in business that you want to do. So kind of, I would, go around town and go to all other boutiques, not spy, but like just kind of get a feel. And I like would go, like Instagram was new in 2012. And so I followed every boutique in the South, and I tried to like see what they did that I could bring to the Midwest. And I worked for this boutique that was across the street from Rockbrook, and she failed. And I sat there and wrote down lists of like what not to do. And I think I had it in my head that like, oh my God, Rockbrook would be awful. Like, I kind of ex-nayed it. And then I actually realized it's centrally located in Nebraska, and they care about their tenants, and they don't raise rent because they want small businesses. And yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah. So I kind of had my experience, and I made up this thing in my head when actually they're the ones that cared the most about me. So
what do you think what helps make it successful that her boutique failed and yours is stuck?
I hate the word fail. I don't know if she failed or if she just like didn't do as much that I don't know. But I worked a lot. My life was my store. What did you ask?
What do you think you did differently?
Social media really helped me. I was crazy. I had just learned about Instagram kind of, and it was before bots were a thing. And so I used to follow thousands of people a day. And then they would follow me back. This was before I even opened. And then I'd unfollow them. And then I would do that. I would do it every night. And my cousin's a plastic surgeon in Seattle. And so he was starting a company, and I was like telling him to do it. I was like, you should do this. And he couldn't figure it out. I mean, he's older than me, so he was all frustrated. But I just remember like telling him that I was like creepily adding all these girls in Omaha and then trying to get my name out there. And I would get on my friends' Facebooks and add all of them to like, you can invite people to like your business. So, and I think I got lucky. It was early on before what social media is now, but I did unfollow and follow for a year. So that's how my following got so big, I would say, in the beginning. And then now it's obviously been organic, but yeah.
Do you think you, like going off with marketing, However, it kind of sounds like you're never afraid to try something.
Yeah.
New social media and marketing. What are you doing lately?
Well, like that new trend that just popped up today, that's like the little thing. I'm like screaming at my group, not screaming, but I'm just like, you guys, we got to do this. We got to jump on this trend. And so it's my employees that I give credit to that come up with all these great ideas that I just say yes to. It's like, they're the young ones. They know the social media things. Like, I obviously see it all from scrolling, but I'm not the one creating the reels. Like, these younger girls know TikTok and all that. So I give them a lot of credit for coming up with the ideas. So, and we've obviously, like, our tailgate event has gotten really big. And so we started that 10 years ago and just continue to grow it. So it's sitting together and having that, what's that word where you bounce ideas? The cloud? I don't know.
Brainstorm.
Sure, brainstorm. Brainstorm each other's brains. I don't know.
Well, I would give you credit too, because I think a lot of business owners, they get stuck into what they're used to doing, and they don't often sometimes listen to their employees. And it sounds like you're always open and you want them to try new things.
Yeah, I really like to be on top of, I don't know, what is prevalent? Yeah. I don't know.
So, kind of going off that, what's your favorite thing about running a boutique on a day-to-day?
That's hard. Everything. Like, I love, it's taken me a while to figure out how to be a good leader. And so I've loved, transforming is not the right word, but forming into being a better leader for my employees so that I can come in and, the balance between friend and boss has been difficult in past years, but they trust me and I trust them, and I can walk into my store. And my favorite thing probably is revamping my store every week. I'm going in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. and Katie and I like change all the racks. So I love doing that. But then I also love the people, and I love seeing my clothes out and about. Like, I love seeing a Nebraska sweatshirt that we created. So that's probably my favorite thing, but I love like the team that I've created. And I also love, like, my employees have become friends. So it's cool to see those friendships last, I guess.
Have any of your employees started their own business?
A girl that I had do photography has her own wedding photography now. I'm trying to think. Parents, do I? Oh, I couldn't go do that. Oh, have any of my employees started their own businesses? Like Sammy did. No.
Not really. I don't think so.
I've had a lot of interns that have gone off and like do really cool things. So yeah.
I feel like working for a business owner is so inspiring. Imagine you inspire your employees to do what they want to do as well.
Yeah, and I always know, like, so I have shop girls and then I have 5 full-time. So my shop girls, I know, and I've taught myself this so I don't get hurt. They're all coming and going. Like, no one's going to stay with me forever and work the front desk. And so I give them that guidance. Like, one of them's going to law school soon and she's so stressed out, and she's so thankful that I'm like understanding of that. Like, I feel like some bosses are like, no, you have to do this and work this many hours. Where I'm like, okay, well, I'll just hire new and know that you can't work so much, but I support you and I know you're going to leave someday, but kind of like I like relating to them a lot. So,
how do you stay creatively inspired? How do you pick your new collections? How do you source?
So Megan is my inventory manager, and she's so creative, and like she names all the clothing. So like, I guess you can't really see, but we have like collections at the top on the website, and like our tailgate, or what was our most recent one? Something I don't know, cowboy chic. I don't know. They name all these different crazy things, but I would credit employees. They come up with the creative things. Jenna just came back, my social media manager, from a trip, and she said she unplugged, and it was amazing because then she came back with so many new creative ideas. So that kind of, I don't know, we watch the trends too, and we see what's going on. Right now, Dancing with Stars is happening, and so is anyone watching it? And Erwin is dancing, and he just said he's looking for an American girlfriend. And so my girls are like, we need to put that on the board outside that he's looking for a girlfriend and post that on social media. And I'm like, what? But they come up with it because it's relatable. So like Taylor Swift, for example, like got engaged. We were sitting in my office and one of my employees screamed. The store was packed of people. Everyone's like, oh my God, Taylor Swift. So my initial thought was, oh my God, put it on like, what's the board called out front of my store? letterboard.
A-frame?
Yes, and we literally wrote like Taylor blah 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 engaged. It was 4 minutes after she posted. So we posted it and our post went viral because people found out from us that Taylor was engaged. And so it's kind of like you have to be really on a whim and like come up with these like designs or things that you think most people are related to in the moment. Like right now, if we did a Taylor Swift thing, it wouldn't be as funny as a Dancing with the Stars thing that millions are watching. So.
And staying on topic or the trends and what people are talking about. So you're gonna
and I would say like my hardest part with that, like collections and whatnot, like I'm 36, my employees are 18, 24, so like my other friends, are 40, so it's hard. I shop for all those ages, and so I think my biggest struggle is finding like my girls on social media look so young, but if you come in store, any age can shop there. Like I have an 80-year-old woman that shops there, and so she doesn't want to be photographed for social media. So it's like, I think my biggest struggle is like, who models the clothing and how do you showcase that for all ages?
Probably kind of reaching other audiences.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What's the most meaningful piece of customer feedback you've received?
I don't know. Meaningful feedback.
Do you source?
I mean, that they love the store is obviously like what I hear. They get homecoming dresses from there. They engagement photo dresses were in their photos, or they have good experiences, or if I get a Google review, like those always like mean the most to me. I don't know. I haven't had just one because I hear a lot of different things. So maybe I'm just like grateful that people like Four Sisters, honestly.
So how do you get like a lot of Google reviews? Or
we did this thing recently that if you leave us a Google review, you get 15% off. So that got me like tons. And then I think once for Black Friday years ago, if they filled out a Google review, they got like the front of the line. So we got like hundreds from that. So like we find little ways to figure out how to get seen and known, or like we'll do giveaways at the front desk and it's like $100 gift card, but then in little writing it says you're added to the text club. I don't know if they're happy about that, but it gets their name in our marketing system. So
I just realized I have something for your store.
Oh yeah, the key ring. I love my key ring.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, it's great.
Sit down and I saw that, so
love it.
Kind of looking back. What's one lesson you wish you learned sooner in starting your business?
I didn't like a lesson. I guess like I never knew how to lead people. Like I was like a new member educator for my sorority. So I was like a cheer coach once. So like I know how to like lead a team, but it was really difficult to learn how to lead employees. And I don't know if that's just self-taught though, like a lesson. So that'd probably be something, or like I wish I would have, I don't know if it's like a challenge or a lesson, but like I wish I would have known more about business taxes. I knew nothing about taxes. So like when taxes got taken out, I was like, what the? And so like learning more about that type of business side, I wish I would have known probably. I mean, it wouldn't have stopped me, but does that answer the question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kind of something you wish you knew more about or that you learned looking back. I mean, there's probably a million things you probably learned.
Yeah, just like, yeah, that was kind of it.
How do you, and you kind of already answered this, but balancing the creative with the business side, doing more of the behind the scenes work, how do you kind of balance those two?
I hire employees to help. I've learned really how to delegate. Now, I did everything for like 6 years. Like I had a team, but I was, doing every single thing, working the front desk, doing the back, tagging. And now I've learned how to hire smartly, I guess. I've taught myself this, but like I have 5 full-time. One's inventory, one's social media, one's like operations, one's just the front desk manager. So they do all those little things that I used to do that now I can step back and, do payroll and do things that you don't have to do. I don't know. I don't have to be there every single day, but I kind of am every single day, or I'm working at some, like an employee called in when I was at the Nebraska game. So I had to like figure that out. Like, how are they going to run the store? So like, I'm always working, but I've really learned how to delegate the past few years. So
yeah. I guess going off of delegating, how do you find and keep like a good team. And like you said, you're used to someone's not going to be there always, but maybe people that you're hiring more full time.
Yeah, I would say like shop girls are the hardest because hiring a high schooler, they can only work from like 4 to 6 and then weekends, but then they have sports. So then it's really difficult doing high school. Then college, they're going to school, but they also want to make money. And I'm not judging this generation at all, but some people I've met in this generation, the work ethic's very different. And I'm sure we've all heard this from millennials to higher. So it's hard, and it's, I've realized like one interview sometimes isn't enough because I have made mistakes in hiring, and I'm just like an employee told someone the other day that she was tired from counting, like restocking, like it was just bizarre. And so like, you're trying to figure out who had, like, no one's going to have the passion like you do, but you want to find girls that enjoy doing and enjoy coming to work and talking to people. Like, I can't hire an introvert who's going to not say hi to anyone and just check people out and look down. Like, I need to actually, like, it's hard. Like, you can't just type, I'm looking for an extrovert. But, so, I don't know if that answered your question.
And what about your more full-time?
Delaney and Megan have been with me for 5 years. So, they've grown with the company, and you get to know them. You know that you want to pay the people what they deserve, but like, you want to keep them. So you do what you can to like say, I want you, and we make the effort for each other. I don't know the right wording, but I see the growth that they see for Four Sisters. So then I take that energy and I want them, so I treat them well. Mm-hmm. It's like about loyalty, and I think I recently realized this. Like, I opened Four Sisters. This is my baby. My employees will never treat it like their baby, but if they love it, like, I struggle with opening another location. Like, I don't think I could ever do it. I think we're good in Omaha because I can't be at 2 places at once. And so I've never found someone who would be like as passionate as me. And so I have found team members, though, that love Four Sisters just as much. So they want to grow in other ways. And so I kind of just segued into like online and social media and growing that, than doing like another location. So employees are the hardest part of the job, I would say, if you want me to be honest. And I know, is Delaney on FaceTime? But she's my best employee. Like, I love her to death. And she's been with me for 5 years. And so she's helped me grow Four Sisters. And I know she has that passion. But yeah, I don't know. You kind of get to know people, and I don't know, intuition, gut feelings. You know who will work hard and who won't. And yeah.
Did you have a pop-up in Exarban not too long ago?
No, did
I feel like I saw Four Sisters Boutique out in Exarban. Like, there's a corner of the HDR building. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't think we did.
I feel like I saw that. I don't know why. I figured I had.
I kind of hate pop-ups.
It's like it was an actual storefront though.
Oh, really?
Like the
yeah,
corner.
It wasn't us.
Maybe it was somebody else, but I thought it was
think
yours.
who's been there.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
Luxury brand that label is.
Oh, I know Sam Noddle has that guy's clothing boutique, but I don't know.
Like rented.
The what?
Is it 8 February or half?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I know them, but I don't know. Maybe it's my competitor.
Why do you need pop-ups?
Okay, so I've loved my brick and mortar. I've made Four Sisters known now, so like I don't have to do pop-ups, but I used to do them all the time. And like we just did one in Lincoln because Dry Bar asked us to do it in Lincoln because they came to our tailgate. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll support you. Well, it was during the game. No one's gonna shop on their way to the game. So like I paid more in employees working it and bringing on stuff to Lincoln than yeah. So, but it's Matt Rule's wife that owns it. So like we didn't want to say no. He stopped by. So like he knows about us. So like there's pro and cons to certain ones. Like Children's Hospital has asked us to do it every year. So I will do that. But like ones that like just are at a random place, you have no idea who's going to shop or come, and they can come to the store. So I don't know. I love hate for it because you never know. Yeah.
What are some moments of success in the beginning where you were like, okay, this is gonna work?
I had to hire like 5 people like 4 months in. Like I couldn't do it anymore. And this sounds like really gross, so I'm sorry, but like I got like a sores like on my tongue, and I called my dentist and I was like, what's happening? And he's like, you're not sleeping, so you're stressing so much that like your body is like, and so that was really cool that I realized like, okay, I can't do this alone. And I paid off my loan in the first like 6 months of business. So that was really cool that I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. A lot of people were telling me they loved it and they were shopping and spending a lot of money, and that was expected. And so that's kind of, but I hated the word success because I didn't want to come off like cocky or like, oh yeah, I'm so successful. Like that was never my intent, and I never would want that. It was just really cool. I was like the only boutique selling the girly clothes that I saw the South had at the time. I would say like Be Yourself was around then, so like they were like my competitor, but I felt like I was a little different. So does that answer your question? All right.
Outside of hiring the employees, like you said 3 months after.
Yeah.
What was the biggest risk that you took in probably the top? I would say like, what's that number one risk that you took that you were like kind of like scared about, but you had to take it?
Buying like $40,000 of inventory right off the bat, and it was my money. So I put in a chunk of my own money, and then I got a $80,000 loan, and I ended up taking just $40,000 and then paid off the rest. So I was really proud of myself for that, but everything else was my own money. So is that the biggest risk? I don't know.
What was the switch in your mindset when you took that risk? Does that kind of unlock another drive lever for you?
So like a big drive was like my dad didn't like believe in me. Not, I always say that, like he believed in me, but like I wanted to like really prove that I wasn't just some, I don't know, cute girl that graduated college and was like, I'm gonna open a boutique. I actually like didn't ever look at opening a boutique for like, oh, I'm gonna sell clothes, and clothes are so fun. Like I truly loved the business side of it and like being an entrepreneur, and I never was about making money. Like I still am not to this day, because if I was, I would have opened like 10 franchises, you know? And I love Omaha, and I feel I wouldn't be as successful if I was like in Kansas City. I think Omaha has that small town vibe. I know a lot of people, and I was telling Lauren earlier, I tell anyone this, and I always have. I was friends, so I went to Burke, but my like junior, senior year, I hung out with like Papio, Westside, Marion. Like I was making friends with all these kids, and I was going to all the parties, and I was talking to a lot of people. So when I graduated college and I was getting on all these people's Facebooks, they were all like, oh, Sarah Spooner. Like I used to, I don't know if they'd say I partied with them, but like I knew her, and that really was my drive. Like, okay, they know me from high school, but I want them to know me for like opening a business. And I don't know. I mean, I never thought I could fail. I knew I could, and that was like my fear. But it was that drive that kept me going, I think.
I can't. It's not an option.
And I'm trying to remember, like, it's been 10 years now, which is crazy. And I'm trying to remember all the like failures. I would say the biggest part was like not getting the location I wanted. Like I really wanted that location. And to this day, they're still not full. So that's not true. But my brother's in commercial real estate now, and he told the guy that he's like, I should have fucking signed for 6 months. And so like that was really cool to hear. But I don't know.
So you've been in business for how long?
10 years. So
10
I
years?
opened in 2015.
Okay. What's like that next step for you? Like looking in the future, because you said you want to stay in Omaha.
Yeah.
You don't want to expand.
So
what's that next step?
We're going to start wholesaling. So we make a lot of our own. Well, we just got licensed with Creighton, and we're looking to get licensed with UNO. Nebraska's a lot tougher to get licensed with. But we're going to start creating sweatshirts. So we make all of our own sweatshirts, and then we want to sell them to other Nebraska boutiques. And then of course, if some boutique in Arkansas wants to order from us, like we'll switch the words around. But that's our next step, is we've created a wholesale account or business. So I would rather do that than open another storefront. I just don't. People come to Four Sisters, and that's the location they know. I've seen 3 boutiques in Omaha open 2 locations, and their second location failed. And so I think that's given me reasons why not to do it. Because if I opened in Elkhorn and I'm in Rockbrook, I don't know how.
That's where you just scale online.
Yeah, so that's what
Wholesale,
we've always
scale
focused.
online.
And Lauren has her own company, and she helps us with our ads and Facebook ads and Google ads. And we notice a lot, like, what was that? We had this like jean jacket poncho, and I was really worried about it. I sometimes make mistake buys, and I know this. And it sold out because of a Google ad to like New York City. Like all these orders came in, 12 orders from New York, and we're like, or like Pennsylvania. It was weird. So it sucks putting money into ads, but the return is cool.
Can you, I guess we haven't really talked too much about online. Can you just bring that up?
Yeah.
Tell us more about online sales and how that's different than your in-person.
Yeah, so I have a warehouse. So if you look at my store, to the right of it is like a photo studio we have, and then we have a whole shipping area and where we open all of our inventory and do that. And it just depends. Like some days we have 10 orders and some days we have 40. So it's really different. But all the clothing is in store and online. I buy, so clothing comes in packs. So like this sweater would come in 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges. So I sometimes buy 2 packs. And then we have it all listed online. So the girls in the morning will come in and pull all the online orders. And then one of my employees packages all up, it ships it, invoices, and it says like, thank God for Shopify. It's an e-commerce website, and that does it all for us, which is nice. So that's kind of the online. We try to make it bigger. I would love to grow that. So it's grown throughout the years for sure. I think we've done really well with our Nebraska sweatshirts. People love Nebraska, so
yeah. Would you say, even though you can shop in store, are there a lot of locals that will buy online?
Yeah, and then they choose in-store pickup, which is really nice. So we've also done incentives where Black Friday and Cyber Mondays definitely changed the last few years. Target does a month-long of sales, so it's an Amazon, so it's kind of screwed small businesses in a way. But we used to, on Cyber Monday, to save on shipping for us, because we offer free shipping if you spend $100, but we'll do incentives like get a free t-shirt if you pick up in store. Mm-hmm. Where if you total it, like it's $3 to buy the shirt and 50 cents or something to print it. So then it's cheaper to give a shirt away than pay for the shipping. So we do some type of incentives like that to get people to come in store. And then they come in store, and then we make them wait a second, and they look around, and then they might shop more. So yeah. I've gotten a few little things I don't know, do. I like make my girls, I'm like, pause in the hallway. Let them look around.
Walk slow.
Yeah.
When did you launch your online store, and like how did COVID affect that?
COVID.
Yeah.
So we launched, so I opened March 2015, and then I had a website that said like coming soon, and it launched November. I cannot remember how it went. I remember thinking, oh, sales are gonna be crazy, and they weren't. So like it took a while to get sales on online, and I think that's what people think, like, oh, it's so easy, but there's so much competitors out there. So even doing this like wholesale thing, like I see all these other sweatshirt companies, so I know it's gonna take, time, but I hope that people know our name and then see that we're wholesaling it. But COVID was a bitch, if you want me to be honest. So, when was it? March 2020? Mm-hmm. So all that shut down. No one ever shut down retail in Omaha. So we stayed open, and then I was getting a lot of hate on social media for being open. So then I remember like calling my dad and my mom and my manager at the time, and I was like, what do I do? Like obviously no one had any idea. So I shut down for a month. I laid on my floor like crying, thinking I was gonna fail. I made like no sales, but that was our first time we actually did our spring Nebraska launch. So if you like, I could find it on my Instagram, but we made like purple sweatshirts that said Nebraska, not like the normal red and black. And that boosted our sales. Then we opened back up in, was it April? May? We opened a month later, masks mandatory. I just was following whatever. And then it was good. It just really sucked. Like we weren't making sales. My landlords were great. Oh, the PPP loans, right? Those were the things. My dad and my landlord helped me get that. So I got it twice. It was great in the beginning because I could pay myself, and then they came out with you can't pay the business owner. So I had to like give my employees bonuses. So I'm like paying these girls extra money that I got to like follow the rules of it. I've kind of put it off in the back of my head, so like remembering it right now. But it was hard. But we like continued to do like our warehouse sale, which we just finished doing, and like planning our other events. And then we do like a Christmas event, and now we're gonna do like a Creighton event. So we've realized events do really well for us, and like bringing the community together. And with Omaha, like there's not much to do. Like there's nights where I'm like, I wish like, well, I don't know. In any state, you probably feel this way. Like, what do you do if you don't want to go out and drink? Like, go to a bar? I don't know. So we started coming up with like Christmas, and we called it Sismas because of sisters. But so we have the Sismas event, and vendors come, and we kind of throw our own little party, which is it's successful because then people come shop and then get
So
free
those are-
hot cocoa.
Alright, those events are in your location, at your location.
Yeah,
mostly?
and then we use the model studio next to us, and we have like Nicole did paintings, so that was cool. We've done hair tinsel for little kids, so we try to think of things that bring kids in and moms, and yeah. So COVID, like, we segued more to events after COVID, I think.
Did your online sales increase from COVID, or was it about the same?
Yeah, I would say most of my sales were online. Because remember, everyone got like that check or something, and then I'm trying to remember. Like, I remember, and then we had a ton of sales after the check went out, and then I was like, whoa, cool. And yeah, but online's been steady. I'd say my in-store is 10 times busier, which is crazy because you would think opposite. But I just, going back to Omaha, is so supportive of small businesses, and even just, you know, I like go out and talk to people, and that's like my biggest advice is like just be happy. I know it's hard sometimes, you're in a bad mood, but like if you just go up and talk to someone, or like I now will just say I'm owner of 4 sisters, and people get so excited, and I'm like, oh my god, like, you know, and I hear like stories. Oh yeah, my parents will hand out coupons for me. Like my dad will go on the golf course, and then girls come in like, I got it from your dad. And so like I give all my employees coupons, and I brought you guys coupons if you want them. And yeah, it's word of mouth is really great with Omaha, I would say. So
I was just gonna ask, where do you manufacture the clothes, and do you have any distributors?
So I have 2 new distributors in China. I do not know the names of the cities. We talk on WhatsApp. We're making our Nebraska stuff right now, but most of it is based in Los Angeles. So I go to market, and it's like I explain it as like a big farmer's market. So it's you go to market, and it's booths of all these different brands, and then you go up to them and you can buy their clothing for the wholesale price, and then they ship to you. But they're all based in Los Angeles mostly, and then they're based in, I don't know, China or Vietnam or all different countries. So I don't do a lot of like sourcing to other countries. I have the in between, is what most people do.
How do you decide on your pricing?
It's hard. You kind of look at the item, and if it's like super cheap, you have to obviously, like, we try everything's above 50%, I would say, margin. And that's what Shopify is great for. You can type in numbers and see the costs and all that. But it really just depends on what, like, my goal is to keep everything under $100. Times have changed where everything's more expensive now, so we have to price things higher, but that's still my goal. So I'll try to keep it that way. But like a lot of our gift items, like hand sanitizer, it's like this popular Touchland. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It cost me $5, but you're required to charge $10. So you can't like upcharge it because like Target sells it and stuff like that. So there's some brands that have a very strict policy. Yeah.
How did you get your first initial customers, and how would you describe what your target market is?
My first customers were the employees at Garbo's, and I sold them inventory that came early. So yeah, that was my first customers. And like my first customers in store, I do not remember. I remember opening, I guess I had a soft opening. So I had a soft opening, and then I gave myself a week, and then I had a public opening. And I invited every single human I knew, and I'm very crazy with, I like thank you notes, and I like handwritten notes, and I like mail. So I sent out 500 invites to the soft opening and like 700 to the grand opening. And so the soft opening, I included doctors of mine. Like I invited every single person I knew, and then public I invited, or maybe doctors were invited to the public. I don't remember, but yeah, I was like, well, they were invited to the public one. But that's kind of who my first customers were, and then that got the word of mouth, and then social media, they would post about it, and it was so different because of the algorithm. So like everyone saw Four Sisters because of they posted at 2:00 and everyone saw it at 2:00. And so like I became really big quickly because of that. And then the algorithm changed in like 2017 because I used to post at 10, 12, 2, and 4, and I would sell out of those items because at 10:00 people knew I'd be posting a new shirt. And looking back, it's kind of scary, like what I was selling, but yeah. So that's kind of, there's another question to it though, right?
How would you describe your target audience?
On social media, it would tell you my target market is like 20 to 40 age group. Right now, we're doing our high school rep program again to bring back high schoolers. I feel like I lost that after COVID. We stopped this program I did where we get like a rep from each high school and they kind of are an ambassador and like give out coupons and talk about us and post about us on social media. That's another thing that really helped grow Four Sisters, which is, I could give you all the advice on that. It's really cool. So I'm trying to bring back the younger generation to shop. But I also want like the older generation. So I don't know, it's really hard. Like I remember writing my business plan and I was like, target market, 10 to 100. Like that, not really, but like I want everyone, but you really do have to figure out your niche and do that. Yeah.
What are you doing for scaling your online business or online side of your business, like marketing wise, like marketing strategies you're using, like UGC, influencer marketing, TikTok influencers? Are you doing any of that?
So not right now. I've tried that. What I have learned is I hate paying people to post for me because it's gotten so oversaturated. I did it early on and it was great, but then it's completely changed where I paid someone like $600 and it did nothing for me. Then I sent Bergen Riley the volleyball sweatshirt last week and she posted it and I got like 20 sales of volleyball sweatshirts. And all she did was post it and yay, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So I'm more about the personal touch to it. And if I know them or I get to know them or I message them like, hey, more than paying someone to come in and take a video. Now, I'm not saying like Omaha Places has done great for us. Their social media coming in and talking about Four Sisters was great. So I'd spend money on stuff like that, but I've never seen a huge growth from an influencer doing like a collection with I guess in the past, yes, but we would trade them with clothes. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other. We haven't done what's the new thing with sports? They get paid now.
NIL.
Yeah, NIL.
Yeah.
Like we get a lot of messages about that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be helpful. I mean, there's so much out there. Like I don't know how to do it all, and so that's why I do have my team. But we're trying right now to stay on top of like Instagram trends and making reels and doing what works for us. But there's days where like.
What about TikTok Shop and TikTok
So
Live?
we have that all set up now. I don't even know how to work TikTok, and that's sad because I'm young, but not. So one of my employees, shop girl, loves content and asked if she could run our TikTok. So I was like, sure. So she does it, and we have the TikTok shop set up, but we haven't utilized it like I should be doing lives. There's a lot of shoulds I should, but yeah. So I have a love-hate for being on camera. Like they make me do those. Like I don't know if you've seen the reels where I'm like walking around the store. Like I come in looking like ratchet, and they're like, get dressed, like you need to be on, and I'm like complaining the whole time, and then I do it, and it's fine. But yeah, so no, we haven't really. It's another like the pop-ups. It's a love-hate working with influencers, and not saying I don't love influencers because I follow all of them, but the big ones that do get the sales cost like thousands of dollars, and as a small business, like you can't pay someone $1,000 for one post. Like if you don't know if that's going to be successful or not. So that's what's hard for me. So I'm just blabbing. Sorry. Yeah.
With the TikTok shop, like how an employee wanted or asked you if she could do it, have you thought about like if she leaves, like what you're gonna do with that, or how you're gonna continue that?
Probably should. I know she will. She's the one who's going to law school, so I'll figure that out. But it's like there's just always something that comes up. Like as a business owner, like I had a girl quit last week So then we had to do interviews so fast, the next, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and then the next week. So like, that's the hardest part. And I have a huge bunch of to-do lists because you want to make sure like you have all that lined up and someone doing the lives and doing the TikTok, but then 20 other things pop up that I have to get done before that. And so I will think about that.
Or even like the incentive, what makes those employees want to more, like does she get a cut of?
Well, I've noticed with some employees, and this is just learning people in general, like one employee will complain about wanting to do things, but is afraid to talk to me. And then the other employee is telling her, we'll talk to her, she's not scary. And then another employee just straight up comes and talks to me. So like, you hear as the boss, like different things, and you want them to be comfortable to talk to you. But there's different, and you learn this as like you get older, but everyone's different. So you have to approach people differently. And there's love languages, and there's all the tests, and there's figuring out like, in my interviews, I always ask, how do you like to be approached? Can I come up? I'm a very sarcastic person. So I'm like, can I come up and grab you and say, you fucked that up, don't do it again, but you're great and I love you? I wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean? Like, I would do it in a funny tone. Or is it a type of person who's, hey, do you want to come to my office? Like, I'll talk to them and fix it there. So like, you have to figure out, every employee has different personalities. And so like, I can be sarcastic with some, and then they talk back to me and people are like, I can't believe she's talked to you that way. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, that's her personality. So, yeah. So, yeah. Any other questions?
I was kind of wondering, you said a piece of advice you would give is like, get out there, get yourself out there as you're starting a business. What's some more pieces of advice that you have for starting a business and being an entrepreneur?
Attending things like this. So like, I'm very proud of you all for coming. Just getting your names out there and learning, because I learned nothing in college to open a business. Not saying I didn't like learn little bits and pieces, but there wasn't anything that like was truly like, okay, this is how you like the book I said earlier. There's no book to follow, and so it's all like experiences and traveling and going in. And say you want to open a coffee shop, stock every coffee shop you possibly can. Go into every coffee shop and write down notes of what you like and what you don't like, and go out of town and try 20 new coffee shops and social media. I think that's like my biggest advice, and like talking to people. And like one mentor of mine always taught me, hire someone from different high schools. So like you hire someone from Burke, hire someone from Miller North, hire someone from Papillion. They all have different friend groups. So you're getting all of their friends to come to Four Sisters. And that was huge advice I got once. So that kind of helped me start the high school rep program, which is getting, girls from every high school, which was helpful for me to be successful and getting known then too. So yeah.
You mentioned that you were kind of a mentor. Have you had more business mentors in your journey, and how have they helped you?
That mentor's, his name's Paul. He ran like a fashion, like he was really into fashion. And so he sat with me once and I showed my business plan and he believed in me. And then that's when he gave me that advice. And then just through the years, he's always believed in me and given, he'll say things to me that I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. And like my landlord, Russ, has been great. And he knows a lot of people. So it's just, it's truly just getting to know people and their friends and their friends and their friends and talking. I know like some people don't love that, but getting yourself out there. And yeah, like I used to so I don't know how old I was, 26. We'd go out to like a bar and I'd set coupons all over the bar when it was like 2 a.m. And then I'd be like, I want Four Sisters, come shop. And so then like that's helped me, get my name out there. And working I work with First National Bank. So then I got to know the 3 ladies that met with me one day and I asked them to get coffee. And so then we became friends. And then they're like, can we use First National for the credit card swipe picture? So they used that. And then I said, if you ever want to put me on a billboard, go for it. And then they put me on a billboard. So not trying to be cocky or anything, but I'm just saying it's good to say what you want, but in a fun way and be friendly and I don't know. I get to know people and I treat them like my best friend and I don't forget them and I make an effort with my friendships. That's why I've been in 17 weddings. So, and I haven't been married yet, but it's just I've always been that good friend and I try to do that with my business too, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. Is treat everyone like an equal and be nice. And Yeah.
I guess you said wholesale is next for Four Sisters, but where else do you see Four Sisters growing? Like, what's next in the next couple of years for you?
Probably the wholesale right now, and just like growing the store still and doing all of our events and growing our tailgate event and again staying with the trends. Like, what's next? We have no idea what's next. Like, the 90s came back a few years ago, which, like, I hated tie-dye, and then tie-dye was huge during COVID, like that trend of it. And then so it's always just trying to stay up what's the new thing. And
Yeah, so looking forward to what the new thing
yeah,
is. in the
there's
next
nothing new every day.
years.
So yeah, just growing online, I would say, is our biggest.
Do you always see yourself in the business, or do you ever see yourself at a point where you're out and you know what I mean?
I don't ever really like think about that, but I do obviously want to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, like I can't ever picture myself doing something else. Like, I love therapy, so like I would be a therapist if my next life. Like, I'm very pro therapy, but I don't like. I see myself staying with Four Sisters, and it's named after my family, so I don't know who I would if I ever was to sell. It would be kind of weird to say this is the old owner's grandma and her three sisters, but I don't ever want to because I love it so much. So yeah.
Well, how can people hear? How can we support you, Four Sisters? What's the best way?
Coming to the store, following us on Instagram or Facebook, come to our events. You can call me if you want to set up a coffee date. Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, we have a website. You can go shop.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, they're in my purse, Mom.
Yeah.
If you want to grab it.
Yeah, coupon for that.
Yeah, used by parents. So yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming. I know it's a small group, but hopefully I answered some questions.